All right. Are you a hunter or a farmer? Now, if you don't know what a hunter is, this is an appointment setter. Farmer is a closer. This exercise, you can do it on your own. You really don't have to watch through this video if you don't want to do this with me. I'll just break down certain nuances and little things on why it makes sense and why, if you choose these answers, this is kind of like your fate. Now, don't get me wrong here. I will preface this. If you go through this and you're more of a hunter or a farmer, whatever it may be, don't think that's what you're locked in for forever. This is just kind of showing, it's more for the people who are newer to sales. Even if you're in sales already and you're all like, kind of like, I'm not so sure if I like the role, you're in it, but you're not like super, super happy, but you're also not unhappy. And you're like in between of like limbo of like, what do I like? What do I not like? This is just to help figure out what makes the most sense. Okay. So let's run through this exercise. Again, you can read all this stuff on your own, guys. But like when you do this, really like, think through it. Don't try to cheat your way through. Like, oh yeah, actually, I am this person, right? I am that person. Like, just answer it genuinely. Don't think about what is the answer and what's this going to look like or how is it going to turn out for me. It's okay because just because if right now in what is it, April 15th, 2024, if you're a hunter now, it doesn't mean you can't be a farmer eventually. People change, and your interests, who you are, how you act, they all change. Meaning, if you're an appointment setter now and you're not enjoying it, and you find out you're meant to be an appointment setter just based off of this, again, this is off of just my experience and off of like the thousands of reps that I've met and learned and know. Um, this is where your intangibles will bleed into you if your answers are this way or that way. And so let's run through it. Just it's a cool little exercise. Again, it's not going to dictate your entire life. So, but let's run through it. Obviously, again, guys, you guys can read this on your own. But would you prefer driving 1 hour plus, get the best steak in town? Da 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 da. Do you have a hard time with tough conversations? Right. What I want to preface, not just going through all these questions because I don't want to read this stuff and just if you guys can see it yourselves, right? These questions are all correlated towards things that, whether you're using them outside or inside of sales, they mesh, they correlate. And for the 1 millionth time, who you are outside of sales is exactly who you are on your sales calls. And if you're not, then you're being unauthentic. And if you're being unauthentic, no one's going to want to buy from you. So now, when you are authentically your best version of you and whoever you are, you need to make sure that whatever you learn in the fundamentals, that you have that as solidified, straightforward, direct, and consistent as possible. And some of them might be some of them might be a little more difficult than others to get better at. But as you're progressing, these will also start to see that these correlate with those fundamentals. And so that's what these questions are for. They might seem super random, but they correlate. So let's say you answer these questions, which, guys, the best way to do this is like pause the video, really write it down on your own, like sit down with yourself, close your eyes, really think about it, and like think about it when you have no distractions and you're sitting on your own, no girlfriend, no boyfriend, no mom, no nothing, and then just write it down. And also probably don't do it while you're hungry because for some reason I've noticed that when I ask this question and they're hungry, I just want food right now, so I'm just gonna do delivered. And like, dude, like, just, what would you actually prefer, like on a general basis? So not right now, but on a general basis. So do that, pause it, and then come back. Okay. And now, if you're back, hopefully you actually pause the video. I mean, Jenny, if you have not paused the video, pause the video, and then come back to this point right here at minute 4:30, and let's start off with answers. Okay. If your answers are drive 1 hour, hard for me to have those tough conversations, you'd rather be the passenger, you're going to make it work at the party. You're there, you're alone, you're going to make it work. You'd run a marathon with zero prep. And if it's raining outside, would you walk your dog or would you wait for the rain to subside? Can anybody guess what this is going to be? You can probably see it already. You are the hunter. Okay? And I'll explain why. Now, hunters go after what they want. Okay? They are the ones who, if they get a bunch of no's and a bunch of denials, they're going to keep going. And they're not going to be faced by it. But they don't really like people. Like, they don't like social settings. They're very reserved. And they might be, sometimes they can be outgoing, yes. Or you could be super outgoing, right? You could have that personality where you're super outgoing, but you also appreciate your alone time there. You'd rather be the passenger because you'd rather be DM setting and setting appointments. But ironically, at the party, no matter what, if you need to turn it up a notch and you need to get to know people, or if you're at a networking event, you're going to make it work. You're going to speak to people. You're going to do it. You're going to go. The prep, running with zero prep. I ran a marathon with Iman, and I can tell you every single setter did not prep. And they were so delusionally optimistic that they could do it. And everybody did. So, and last one is, if it was raining outside, would you wait for the dog? Or would you wait for the rain to subside to walk the dog? Or would you go while it's raining? You're going to go. You're a hunter. You make shit happen. You go, you go, you go. You might think that this has nothing to do with sales. I promise you. Like, I get it if you don't. And if you doubt it, fine. Trust me. By the end of it, you won't. But if you really thought this through, it starts to make sense. And so this here, if you're a hunter, if you're an appointment setter now and this correlates with you and you're not surprised, then great. If you're a closer and you notice this, maybe consider being an appointment setter. But these are the intangibles, the things that, like, there's nothing I can teach you here, but this is what you've come with based off of your experiences, based off what you've accomplished in life, based off of what you learned already. This is you. Okay? Moving on to number 2. If your answers are the complete opposite of the hunter, then obviously you're a farmer. And that's me. So 100%, I am not driving 1 hour to go to some steakhouse, bro. Bring that shit to me. I do not care. I'm staying home, man. Bring that to me. Okay, do you have a hard time with tough conversations? As in, do you run from confrontation? Hell fucking no, bro. If you say something I don't like, or you say something that, like, what the fuck are you talking about? I'm going to ask you, what the fuck are you talking about? You lean into that. But just on sales calls as well. People are like, oh, yeah, well, I don't think you can do what you say you can do. Really? So why are we on this call? What are you talking about? That's where you got to call it out. Okay? Now, also, ironically, I'd rather drive. I like to be in control. I like to lead it. Always loved the driving. Walked into the party. This one, right? To be honest with you guys, like, you might think that the closer might, oh, they're going to talk to everybody. But, dude, like, I'm not going to go out of my way. I'm going to wait for people to come to me. That's how I would do it. And however I do that is up to me. But I'd keep to myself. I'd stay. I'm not going to, that's different. So people will go, oh, you're going to leave. If you leave the party, that's, you're neither a hunter nor a farmer. You're just a fucking, I don't even know what's that. You're customer service. But keep to myself. Look around. Observe my surroundings. And I'll wait for people to come to me. And they always do. They always do. Last one, or last 2, sorry. I prepped for the fucking marathon, guys. I prepped. I'm telling you, I was not delusional. Hell no. I'm prepping that shit right now. And then, if it was raining outside, I would wait for it to subside. I'll get my work done, take some calls, wait for it to subside. Dog can wait. Right? Now, again, I understand that this has nothing to do with sales, literally, or maybe not literally is the wrong word. On the surface level, this has nothing to do with sales. I get it. But trust me when I tell you, it starts to make sense. When you start to realize, like, yo, dude, I would do the exact same thing. That's exactly what I would do. 120%. And so at least some of these, right? And let's say neither one of these was you. Let's say it's all mumbo jumbo, totally random. You're an omnivert. Meaning you have the versatility to do both. Now, granted, a lot of these decisions come with the mood that you're feeling, but let's say that you're really, really strong on this one. Then you're really, 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 really maybe not meant to, but it really just makes sense for you to be a hunter. Now, if this one really, really resonates with you, it makes sense to be a farmer. This is where you can kind of pick or choose. But if one resonates with you based on how you feel, then go with that. Don't just try to become a closer because you think it's the next thing, or you think that's the next step, or you think that it's going to make you money. I know appointment setters who are doing 18K, 25K per month. I know closers who are doing 5K per month. I know closers who are doing 20, 30, 40, 50K per month. And then I know people who've been appointment setters and closers and been both sides. I mean, I've been an appointment setter as well, but I was only an appointment setter for 2 weeks. I've never enjoyed it. It's just never been my thing. So in these cases, guys, like, pick the one that makes the most sense for you. And then if you're unsure, now if you're super confused, like, again, don't use these as like, you need to live and die by this. This is 100%. These are just 6 questions that I've noticed after like all my experiences. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 6 questions that from my experience that this is what correlates with who you are and who you want to be in sales. And so I guarantee you guys, if you've been through all these other sales trainings, they're talking about just the fundamentals and like the bare ass basics from like 2005 about sales. And you have some other good guys like Bill Walsh is pretty good. Jerry Miner's really good, or was pretty good at teaching before they became all saturated. But we're not just going to be here to teach you sales. Like, you need to have an understanding of why you're doing what you're doing before anything, and why this is meant for you to be this role, right? And so these questions, these intangibles, these teach you about yourself. And they bleed into, based off of the things that you already have inside of you, meaning like your thoughts, your beliefs, how you feel about yourself, your decisions. These are all things, again, I through this screen, even if you worked on one-on-one, there's things that you come with, baggage, whatever the fuck you want to call it, you come with already. And so this is just going to give you a little bit more direction and guidance on why you should be each role. Now, if anybody's ever confused about this, ask in the comments, ask on the coaching calls. Don't be afraid to reach out. I'll clarify anything you need, but I hope this was helpful for you guys. I'll see you guys in the next one.